Tucker Carlson, that quote, and he puts this in caps, so you know Trump is serious when he puts it in caps. I'm being sarcastic. That if we don't fight for our own country and our own people, then we will no longer have a country for our children and our grandchildren. That is directly in response to Donald Trump's post. Now, the Tucker Carlson network yesterday then posts that Iran is not building a nuclear weapon, and the supreme leader of Iran, Khomeini, has not authorized the nuclear weapons program.
What happens when Trump does a total 180 on his America First promise? His biggest fans are losing it. From Tucker Carlson's dire warnings to Marjorie Taylor Greene's unexpected flip, the MAGA movement is erupting, and we're breaking down the chaos. Is Trump leading a revolution or just recycling Bush-era talking points? Stay tuned for the drama. Before we move on, I'd like to ask you a small favor. If you appreciate this content, please take a second to like this video and subscribe to the channel. Over 98% of you watch the videos without subscribing. It costs you nothing, but it makes a huge difference to us. So, did you click the subscribe button? Great. Thank you so much. Now, back to the video. Trump's entire political brand has been built on one simple promise: no more endless wars. Remember America First? That slogan wasn't just a catchphrase for his hats. It was a direct rejection of the foreign interventionism that defined George W. Bush's presidency. But now, Trump sounds less like the disruptor he sold himself as and more like a guy who's been binge-watching old Dick Cheney interviews.
Iran cannot have a nuclear weapon, to which Marjorie Taylor Greene responds right away, and will ultimately lead to our destruction. That's not kooky. Donald Trump and Marjorie Taylor Greene are at each other's throats. And it's not just Trump versus Marjorie Taylor Greene. You are trying to get America into a war with Israel and Iran. You told us you were going to keep us out of wars.
At a recent rally, Trump shifted gears and started talking about peace through strength. Sounds harmless, right? Wrong. That phrase, straight out of the Bush-Cheney playbook, is a not-so-subtle nod to projecting military power. And if that didn't raise eyebrows, his comments on Israel and Iran sure did. Trump called Iran a significant threat that couldn't challenge the might of Israel, while stressing that American power needed to be unmatched. To some, it sounded like his way of laying groundwork for the kind of hawkish foreign policy he used to criticize. The kicker? His former defense secretary echoed these same talking points, using language that felt ripped from the early 2000s. "We must preserve American dominance," he said. For MAGA voters who rallied around Trump's promise to keep America out of these global messes, this doesn't sound like a victory lap. It sounds like a betrayal. Tucker Carlson isn't mincing words about this. The conservative pundit warned that this shift could cost Trump his base, and maybe even his presidency. Tucker claimed that waving the old strong on defense banner might as well be gifting Biden his re-election. According to Carlson, this foreign policy flip draws Trump dangerously close to the very establishment he vowed to destroy, and MAGA faithful aren't happy. Social media is already aflame with Trump loyalists debating whether he's lost sight of the movement's ideals in a bid to appeal to more centrist voters. This shift isn't just a policy blunder, it's a test of Trump's anti-establishment persona. And right now, that mask is slipping. But while many MAGA diehards are steaming, others are reaching a breaking point, and leading the charge is none other than Marjorie Taylor Greene. When Marjorie Taylor Greene decides to turn on Trump, something is definitely up. She's been one of his loudest cheerleaders for years, but now she's out here accusing him of betraying the MAGA movement. And she's not being subtle about it, calling herself the true America First champion. Ouch. Greene's latest critiques are all about Trump's foreign policy shift, which she claims is a complete slap in the face to the movement's anti-war principles. If Trump was trying to wiggle his way out of controversy, Greene just handed him a shovel to dig an even deeper hole.
Tucker Carlson is one of my favorite people. He fiercely loves his wife, children, and our country. Since being fired by the neocon network Fox News, this was signed by your Director of National Intelligence, Donald, and foreign wars, intervention, regime change, put America last, kill innocent people, are making us broke, that he suspended in 2003. And then there's a video of the Director of National Intelligence, Tulsi Gabbard, from that hearing.
Here's where it gets wild. She's been teaming up with Tucker Carlson. Yep, Tucker, who's been warning everyone that Trump's new peace through strength vibes are basically George W. Bush 2.0, has found an ally in Greene. She's now blasting Trump by parroting Carlson's outrage over Trump's hawkish rhetoric about Iran and his overly enthusiastic support for Israel. Greene's throwing around big claims, basically saying Trump forgot the whole "no stupid wars" promise that sealed his 2016 victory. And honestly, for a MAGA figure as high profile as Greene, this is a huge deal. But let's be real here. Greene's not exactly a beacon of consistency. Critics say she's been jumping on this controversy not because she cares about policy, but to score political points. In fact, her own history is littered with support for hawkish positions that completely contradict the anti-interventionist stance she's pretending to defend now.
He has more popularity and viewers than ever before. He unapologetically believes the same things I do. It's a lot of the MAGA base at Donald Trump's throat right now, saying that you're not America first. Tulsi Gabbard on March 26, 2025, where she says the United States intelligence community continues to assess. That's what millions of Americans voted for. It's what we believe is America first. Now, obviously, you betrayed the American first movement, and Donald Trump's responding, I am the America first movement. And when I say we're going to get involved in something, that becomes America first.
That hasn't stopped her from tweeting up a storm and rolling out bold statements about how MAGA needs to stick to its principles. Sounds noble until you look at the receipts. This isn't just about policies, though. Greene's attacks on Trump are a direct challenge to his leadership. She's essentially saying out loud that MAGA isn't just about following Trump, it's about holding him accountable. For a movement that's been so centered on loyalty to one man, this is a full-blown ideological identity crisis. And the question now is, without blind loyalty to Trump, can MAGA even survive? The MAGA movement is in chaos, and it goes way beyond foreign policy. Trump's shift isn't just sparking debates about Iran or Israel, it's cracking open a deeper question. Is MAGA about ideas or just blind loyalty to Trump? Figures like Tucker Carlson and even Steve Bannon are openly questioning his leadership now, which would have been unthinkable just a few years ago. The movement is at a crossroads, and watching the cracks widen feels like witnessing a slow-motion implosion. So, what happens next? MAGA's future hangs on whether it can define itself without Trump, or if it crumbles entirely without him.